Gross. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bin Draws, and we're working on this book illustration. We've been working on it a little bit the last episode. We're going to work on it some more again. Probably going to do some inking. I think this draft is good enough. Just go ahead and start like inking it out a little bit. And then we may be able to do some colors as well. We'd have to name my layers just so I can keep track of everything. So I'm going to start inking. I use the ink tool. Feels nice. Feels right. Feels good. Get on in there. Oh no, that's too close. That's also very close, but maybe might be able to. Oh no! Oh man, I'm so bad. Look at those lines. Look at those lines. There's a line. That's not so bad, eh? That's not so bad. That's bad. That's bad. So the problem with like pulling towards your dominant direction, because I'm right-handed, right? So if I'm pulling from left to right like that, I can't see where I'm going because my pen or my hand is in the way. So I guess that's just, maybe I should push more. But when I push, I also can't see. So it's like, oh, lose some, you lose some. I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Because I definitely do not. If you haven't seen the last episode, when I drafted all this, let me just tell you right now, I'm not a professional artist. I don't claim to be. I don't try to be. Well, I don't know. The sheer fact of me like doing these illustrations might be trying to be like a professional artist. But I just don't like labels, I guess. Because like then once you're labeled, you're locked in, you know? It's like that's Ben, that's the professional artist. Not that's Ben, that's the it's not the very sexy guy over there. That's the professional artist. You know, if I'm going to be known for something, it might as well be for vanity. Oh man, what am I doing with my life? Honestly, like what is? Does that look right? Does that look good? I guess it's all right. I don't know. If you are a professional artist and you have to see this, uh, let me know your process. You know, give me some tips, give me some pointers. And if you're not a professional artist, you know, also give me some tips and give me some pointers because I'm sure I can learn something from you in either way. I'm not gonna like be an elitist or anything. You know, I'll take everything into consideration. Something to keep in mind, and I'm saying this for me pretty much more than for you, but something to keep in mind is like I'm zoomed in 100%. Like so the picture is twice as big as this picture is twice as big as it's going to be for somebody who's going to be like reading the story. Which means that the details I'm really like worried about and putting in here, they're not necessarily going to be immediately noticeable to somebody who's like reading this. Especially because like the person who's going to be reading this is going to be a kid, right? Like, ha, 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 get out of here, get out of here, you kid. You. I'm smarter than you. Don't you bring up details to me. oh, you're going to come up here and be like, hey, on page 13, like, I saw this thing that didn't look right. And I'm like, hey, like, why are you trying to make me cry? That's just rude. It's just rude. Why are you trying to make me cry? That's something I don't understand. You know, people who go out of their way to just be a jerk. Why do people do that? Like, I'm sure there's like some element of like narcissism or something where like they just think so highly of themselves that like people obviously want to know what they're thinking at all times or something like that. And like, so what? So be it if what they're thinking is like mean. That does not look good. Maybe I. Uh-oh. I might have to go back to the sketching for like these frills over here. These ones look like that's okay, I guess. Let's see here. How do how does perspective work? Like, you know what I'm going for with this, right? Like, you've seen like the little girl dresses that have like the frills on them and stuff. I definitely have. Like, I've seen it in real life, like up close. Okay, that sounds weird. Like, not up close. Like, I've been in the presence of a little girl who's worn clothes that are like look like this. This video right here, officer. Yeah, no, it's not like that. It just is really hard to talk about stuff like that without sounding like that, you know what I mean? Either way. No, I'm just an illustrator. I'm just a guy who's drawing, man. Don't read into anything. No, 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 no. All right, I can't publish this video now. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm going to be in jail before this goes public. All right, let's see here. Like her mouth is like giving me some. Sure, sure, sure. I made her hair look like clumpy. Oh gosh, there we go. I do like the thing where like so when I color this, obviously the color is going to like cut off like right there or something like that. But I do like the style where like I do like that look where like sometimes the lines aren't blocked off, you know? Like there's open lines. Cause like that doesn't look as good as like when the color's just gonna end like that. You'll see. It'll look good. It'll look good. I'm a professional, don't you know? Well, I mean, if you watched the last episode, you will know that that was an absolute lie. Some of those beautiful fabric folds. Get that. Look at that. See, like this squiggle right there. Like, is that something I should be concerned about? Or is that just like, you know, it looks fine. It's just fine. It's fine. Well, I probably shouldn't do that with the camera on or with the audio recording. Probably doesn't sound too great. Let's go. And then here's where the flip-flop goes like through the thing, so it's got to follow that line kind of. And then follow the line again, kind of go right there. You're not going to see the other side of that. I don't want to draw it. And since I am the one drawing, I'm the one deciding. I get to decide what is included. Not you. I forgot to start my clock to let me know how long I've been recording. I probably don't need it because I'll probably find like a natural spot to stop at before then, but oh well. Oh yeah, there's a dog. Okay. All right. Fly. So like, is this too thick to draw the fly? I really don't want to vary my line weight all that much. Get the eye. Oh, that's good. I gotta remember that I'm like way zoomed in. There we go. Beautiful. Does that look like a fly? That's a fly. Come on, give him some. I'll do that in color. I don't want to. I'm not going to actually draw out the shine. I'll add the shine in color. Oh, this isn't teeth, by the way. I was very careful not to give like the dog teeth because I didn't want him to look threatening at all. That's like supposed to be his like foof. I was very careful about that. I don't want any of the animals to be threatening. There is an earlier illustration in one of the earlier pages of like a bear. I think I gave the bear teeth, but the bear is also like it has no fur, so hopefully that makes it not threatening. Okay, so that's one problem with like all the sketchiness like this. Like, because it makes it hard to see the guidelines, you know? Because, like, what was I thinking? I'm just trying to draw a little puppy, a little boofer, a boofer woofer. Um, sure, it's a kid's book. It's a kid's book. Kids aren't gonna know. They're not gonna know, like, if something's wrong. Except, you know, they might, because kids are actually a lot smarter than you think they are. A lot of people treat kids like they're stupid. I think that's the ink, actually. How's that look? Professional? That hand. Both those hands, actually. So let me just add a knuckle there. Let's add these. Add some of these. Add some of these. Add some of those. That might be too much, actually, now. So now it might look like even weirder. Maybe just that. That pinky. No! Why is my eraser not actually an eraser? There. You're learning anything? I did say I'm not a professional, so I don't know why anybody would try to, like, watch this video to, like, learn. But maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I'm just so good that I haven't even noticed how like I'm doing something that's actually like groundbreaking. I don't know, man. Does that look good? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Let's see how it looks like with ink or with colors. So I'm gonna just do C for color. And I do have this secondary page up, so I don't. So I got like the essentially the palette. All right. So this is going to be the part where you stop watching probably because I don't use the bucket fill. I don't do it because I can never make it look good. And I think I already like messed up. Like, so to use the bucket fill, you have to generally, I guess you could use like the thresholds and stuff and mess with that, but I've never been able to get it to like not have that white border like showing the background area because the inking, like, look, if you look at the ink lines, they're feathered, right? They they're aliased. I think anti-aliasing means that the pixels are just pixels, and when they're aliased, I think that's the feathering. Can't remember. But they're feathered, right? They don't just like stop. They kind of like fade out. And so if I were to try to like paint bucket that, or like magic wand grab or anything like that, there will be a small space between like the line and the point that I'm actually got selected that is like the feathering, and it's going to make it have a white gap essentially. I'll just show you. Like, okay, like this so if I do like my magic wand, why isn't this working? Uh-oh. What's going on here? No, not a dot. Why isn't this working? Well, never mind. I guess you're going to have to just deal with me coloring. And, like, it's nice. Like, it's... Oh, it's got the colors picked? Stop. Oh! Let's just go. Okay, so that's probably why it takes me forever to do anything anyways. Because I don't use hotkeys. And I don't bucket fill, you know? But it is kind of therapeutic to kind of just, you know, just sit here and color it in. It's like a very own adult coloring book that I drew just a second ago myself. That's something I've thought about doing, you know, like those things are pretty popular, or they were pretty popular a few years ago. I don't know if like adult coloring books are super popular anymore. I know that if you go into like a Michael's or a Joann's or something, you'll find those adult coloring books next to like the Farmer's Almanacs or whatever. And they used to be just so popular. And I never understood why. Cause I don't know. Oh, jeez. Just because coloring, just, you know, you hear about it, it's like, oh, I'm going to go color. It's like, that's very lame of you. But, I mean, I guess I kind of get it when I do this, you know. You're filling in the gaps and you're just thinking and following the lines and letting your mind wander. But I'm also trying to keep my head in the game so that I can make this video not completely boring. It's like just sitting here coloring. That's not exciting. I'm sure it's barely even more exciting when I'm just like talking and saying like all the time. That's something I've noticed I do. Like, you know, I say like all the time, like all the time. Like. But either way, like adult coloring books, that's something I thought about doing before. I tried once and then I failed because I got lazy and stopped. But now I think I might like try to draw some things. Get some pages out there for a book. Let me know if you think that would be interesting. Let me know if you would draw or if you would color a coloring book that I've drawn with your only insight on my skills of illustration and stuff being this page. This is the resume shot right here. Like when people are like, "Oh, you can illustrate things." It's like I would never even bring that up to anybody, but it's like, "Oh, let me see what kind of stuff you got." And then I show them this. I show them this. They're like, "Oh, so like you're like an idiot." And I'm like, "Oh." So you're like a stupid person, huh? You think that's good? I mean, I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not like one of those artists who like draw stuff that people are like, well, how'd you ever draw that? And I'm just like, it's not very good, is it? That's something that confuses me. Because like when people are like, and for the most case, for the most part, from what I've seen personally, when people will say stuff like, yeah, it's not very good, is it? Yeah, I know it sucks. It's really bad. Like they're just before that, the person when they showed whoever they're showing the picture, the person they're showing is like, that's crazy. That's so good. That's really good. And then they go, oh, it's not. I know it sucks. You're just being kind. It's like they're already complimenting you. They already complimented you. Why are you like trying to like get some sympathy compliments after the fact that they already gave you a compliment? Like they're already saying it's good. You don't need to like bait it out of them. No, it's not very good. No, it's so good. Look how good. It's really good. I really like it. Oh, you're just saying that. All right, fine. F you then, you know? Piece of shit. That's harsh. Don't show me your freaking art anymore then. If you're not going to listen. But that's also something I'm bad about too, you know? If I have a piece of work that I've done, like a piece of music or a piece of art or a piece of anything, and like I'm connected, not connected, but like I have a relationship with the person that's giving me the compliment, you know, like they're my father or mother or boyfriend or boy. Why did I go for boyfriend first? I have a girlfriend. But you know, unless no, girlfriend, you know, somebody who's close to me, brother or sister, if I show them a piece of art, you know, and they're like, I like it, it's good. It's like I'm immediately skeptical of you and of your eyeballs and of what you just said because like how do I know? How do I know that what you're saying isn't coming from a place of like I just don't want to hurt their feelings, you know? They're my sibling, they're my son, they're my daughter. I'm doing it again. I'm a son, not a daughter. They're my son, they're my boyfriend, they're my whatever, they're my husband. You know. And then when they're like it's really good, like I'm just immediately skeptical. I don't know what I was saying before that, but the point is I'm already skeptical of like your compliments or your praise or whatever because it's so hard to like get over the fact that I'm related to you in some form or another. So obviously I expect like this protection from you, you know? You're going to try to protect me. So I can't take any compliment from you like seriously. I have to go to like a stranger. I have to go to some random person and see what they say. And if they say it's good or if they say it's bad, I can trust that. I can trust that so much more than if somebody I'm close to says it's good or if it's bad. If somebody's close to me and says something's bad, I guess I could probably believe that. But the problem is, in most cases, they don't just say like it's bad. They don't come right out, you know, and say, "Yo, that sucks." You know, they're not going to do that because you're related to them and they don't want to hurt your feelings. It's like they're going to be like, "Oh, that's good. What were you going for?" or something like that. And like they'll say it in a way that makes it difficult to understand that they don't like it. Like if they're going to talk about if they don't like it but they're going to talk about it in a way that makes it hard for me to understand that they don't like it, I can't trust you. I can't trust your criticism. I can't. That's one thing I liked about college when I was doing my fine arts certificate is, you know, I had no relationship with the people that were looking at my art. I had no relationship with the professor, with the students. I made friends, sure, but like out of a class of like 20 some people, I was only friends with like, 3, 4, 5 people. Sure, I was friendly. I was friendly with everybody. So I can't go out here. I was friendly with everybody. But I was only like friends with a small minority of those people. But I did value the criticisms that they gave. At first, at least. Before we developed a rapport. Because then after that, all bets were off. I looked at them. They would talk about my art. It'd be up on the wall. They'd point at something. I'd raise my eyebrow and be like, "You don't really like it, do you? You say you like it, but that's just because we're pals. That's because we're friends. You don't really. I see through you. It's not very good, is it? Yeah, I know it sucks. Shut up. Shut up. If you want to know whether it sucks or not, like, put it out there. Put it on the internet. People will let you know if it sucks then. They will. You won't let them. You won't get them to stop. Does Deviantart still exist? Go put it on Deviantart, you know? Oh, maybe not. Because, like, Deviantart is kind of... I don't know. I don't know if toxic is the right word. But, like, there's a lot of fanboys, fangirls. Like, that's a real problem. At least from what I've read. Because there are some people that are, like, that were on that site that were, like, they had cult followings, essentially. And how do you get to that point? You know, how do you get there? Can I get a cult following? Hey, do you want to be part of my cult? Viewer? Listener? We got candy. We got candy. We got beer. Or wait, usually cults are like, they have like these weird rules about alcohol or drugs or something. You'll have like a cult that is like, yeah, we're a death cult. We like murder anybody who was born on July. But like, we don't drink. It's illegal. Like, we don't think it should ever have been abolished. I don't even know why I tried to go for the other one. Yeah. So, like, you can't join if you were born on July because, like, obviously we'll murder you anyways. But, like, you know, no drinking, though. Because then you gotta, like, question it. It's like, what? How do you justify the murder, but then, like, turn around and think that alcohol is bad? I mean, I can agree that alcohol is bad. Like, it causes a lot of problems sometimes. But, like, it's just like a mental gymnastics. So anyways, I think I'm gonna try to make an adult coloring book. Let me know if you'd enjoy that. It won't be this. It'll be different. I'm thinking maybe some birds or something, you know. Just birds. Because, like, you can draw out a lot of detail with birds, right? Like, they got all the feathers and stuff, and that could be kind of therapeutic to, like, fill in and stuff. And that's the bottom line of adult coloring books, isn't it? It's kind of like meditative, therapeutic. Maybe it could be, like, useful for, like, physical therapy as well. If you have, like, some sort of... Well, if you have arthritis, that probably wouldn't help too much, because that would just cause pain, wouldn't it? But, like, let's say you had hand surgery and you're trying to build back your dexterity or something. So you could practice, like, coloring in these adult coloring books that I would assume... I haven't looked at too many adult coloring books, but I would assume that most of them have very, like, fine, like, spots to color in. You're not going to have spots like this where it's like a huge, like, field that you need to color in, you know. It's going to be a lot more small stuff. with finer lines. My ink line is pretty thick right here, but like it would have a finer ink lines. You know, that's what I assume. All right, here's what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if it was last episode or this episode, but where like I like the design better of like the open lines, kind of. I think that's all for her hair. All right, going right along, going to the pearls, going to her pearls. Pinkish, pinkish. So I've always wondered, like, are gallstones like the human equivalent of a pearl? It's kind of gross. Like, or like a bladder, like a kidney stone. Is that like a pearl, like a human pearl? Because I know some people have some weirdos. That's judgmental. Like some interesting folk have like made jewelry out of like gallstones and stuff. So is that just a human pearl? Like you don't really see them on the jewelers market, gallstones. But maybe that's just cuz like it's associated with humans and therefore like if it came from a human that means it's a little more gross. Like that's the only reason cannibals aren't more widespread, right? It's cuz it's labeled as human, right? You gotta label it as long pig. Then people are like, oh, that sounds tasty. Her teeth are going to be the same color as her eyes. Get over it. Get over it. I don't have an actual color for her teeth, so I'm just going to use this one. Uh, yeah. She's very colorful with her costume, with her outfit. She just gets right in there, right up in there with the. She's not afraid of the pastels. Actually, would this color be considered a pastel color? You know what I mean, like colors that you would associate with like Easter, you know? This is just saturated, right? This is just a saturation color. This is like vibrant. Pastel is like not vibrant, right? So like this would be like the pastel version, right? Like her pearls. This is pastel. I don't know. I don't know. I did go to college and we did go over color theory and stuff, but like you thought you think I was paying attention? Man, I was looking at the babes. I wasn't. I was paying attention, kind of. I just wasn't. I didn't care about that. Like, whatever. It's colors. Like, who cares? Everybody knows colors. Red, white. White's not a color. It's a tint. But like red, what are the primary? Yellow and blue. Everybody knows those. And then you got like complementary colors and the other ones. Yeah, that those classes did me good, I tell you what. I did learn a lot about the figure drawing though. Yeah, I've drawn naked people. I've done it, and let me tell you, it was nothing like Titanic. When some like 90-year-old guy comes out in a thin towel and is wearing like a small robe that barely covers up the nether regions. Titanic's not really on your mind. But I will say it is a different mindset to begin with, you know. You do get in a different mindset. Because, like, I would say that some of the models that we did draw would be considered quite attractive. But you can't think like that when you're trying to draw them, you know, because then you're just going to get distracted. You know, like, you got to be a professional about it. Like, I've heard people talking before, and I've talked about it too, like when I was like younger, like maybe in high school or something, and we were talking about like, oh, like figure drawing, haha, like so sexy. Like, how do they do it? And it's like, you got to be a professional. Don't be like a weirdo, like, because this person is a person. They're coming out here for you, for your benefit, to like, so that you can like learn and stuff. So you gotta like give them that respect, but you also have to just not be a creep. Don't be a freaking creep. So this is my advice to you if you're like going to art school and you're like going to do figure drawing. Get over yourself. Like, even if they are hot, which like nine out of 10 times they're not going to really be, because like it's usually elderly people that like have nothing else to do with their time, so they have like they figure model for their spare time and stuff. But like, you know, like even if they're hot, even if they're attractive, you probably don't have a chance anyways. Like, so tell me, in what world is a relationship going to start where after you've just finished drawing somebody naked, you come up to them and be like, hey, so like, you want to have dinner? What world is that going to work in? Like, in Titanic, at least they had a relationship beforehand, and then like Rose was like, hey, draw me like one of your French girls. You know the meme? The meme? You know the meme. They had a relationship beforehand, but you know, you don't have the game. If it's a hot guy, hot girl, like, you don't have the game. You're in art school. You don't have the game? Who do you think you are? You think you're the next Picasso? You think you're the next uh Monet? Or the next Manet? Mayonnaise? His name does sound like mayonnaise, doesn't it? Monet? Is it Monet? There's like Monet and then there's like a Monet or something like that. Van Gogh? Van Gogh wasn't even successful, you know? Until like the money launderers decided that he was worth something. Did that sound bitter? But either way, like, figure drawing, it was very helpful. Really helped you understand different perspectives of the body and stuff, and like how the body actually moves. What I would love, and this is going to sound like kind of weird, but I would have loved, and like, there's, I'll just, first things first, I would very much enjoy a figure art class where the model is muscular. I would like very muscular, like a Greek statue type of muscular, you know? I would want a figure model like that, so that I could really see the muscles and like how they kind of move underneath the skin. Cause most our models, they were like skinny, you know? You can't really see too much of the musculature going on underneath, you know? But it is an odd thing to say. It's like, I wish there was like a naked muscle man that I could draw. But it's for purely educational purposes. Purely educational. Man, if I just did bucket fill, I'd already be done. This is taking forever. I'd be done with this already. And who knows if I'm like missing a spot. I don't think I am. Not yet. Like obviously I haven't done like the bug or the dog yet. But like everywhere else, maybe. You know what? I am going to do paint fill. I'm going to fill in the gaps here. So that hopefully there's cutoff. And then I don't use hotkeys, so let's just get in there. There it is. And that's the line I was talking about, by the way. The alias line. Like, I don't know how to make that not look like crap. I don't know how to do that. Other than, like, making it so that drawing anti-alias to begin with. Whichever one it is. I don't remember if it's, like, anti-aliased or aliased, you know? I don't remember. I really should learn hotkeys, because that's just... But I can't be bothered, you know? I don't do this enough to really, like, spend the time to learn the hotkeys. Ignore that. You're not going to notice that. Not when I zoom out. I am 200% zoomed. You're not going to notice that. You're not going to notice any of this. You're not even going to, like, the whole picture, you're just not even going to look at. It's just going to be like, whoa, what is that? There's nothing, blah. Let's get the sandal. Let's get the sandal going on. Let's finish you. There's one side of the thong. Other side of the thong. Oh man, does this take a while? This is why it takes me so long. Because I'm stupid. I don't optimize my workflow. But why should I? Why should I be like you want me to be? I'm my own person. And whose show is this? Whose show is this? This is my show. If you don't like it, keep watching. Because even if though it's my show, I will not tell you to leave. I enjoy your company. Which is a weird thing to say because I'm really just talking into a microphone. So that's something that is interesting to think about, you know? So like a lot of YouTubers, when they're doing their videos, they're like looking at the camera, which makes it look like they're looking at you because you're watching the video. And you're looking at the camera, and they're talking away, you know, so it feels like they're talking directly to you, right? But something to think about is like they're just talking to a camera. There's like a camera set up somewhere on a tripod, and that's what they're talking to, and that's all they're talking to. And that's interesting to think about when you're like, next time you're watching a video where somebody's just talking to the camera, they're just talking to you. Picture in your head that like just in front of them is just like a tripod with the camera on it, and that's really what they're talking to, like obviously, but like think about it. Because it makes the person seem kind of strange. I mean, think about me. I'm not looking at a camera or anything, but I am just talking into a microphone. There's no one else here. I'm by myself. Yeah, I'm by myself. And I'm just like, just talking. It's just odd. It's just an odd thing. But I guess that's another thing for like actors, you know, like being an actor. So when you're an actor, you're not supposed to look at the camera, right? Because that like breaks the immersion. And I imagine that's quite difficult to do, not look at the camera. Especially when it's like right up in your face. I guess it's like the opposite side of the spectrum. Like with the YouTuber, they're like talking into the camera. Then an actor is doing their best to convince you that that camera does not exist. That's an interesting thing to act in. Oh man, so, oh gosh. Should probably have split this up into two, huh? But we're almost done. We're almost done. We, as in me and the microphone. But it makes it seem, it sounds like when I say we, that you're included. And you are included. I include you. You are, you, you are valid. You are valid. While I'm here, I'm going to do his collar real quick. Hotkeys. Oh, man. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Bam! Right there. That's a red collar for you, if I ever seen one. When do we start putting collars on dogs? Do you think like medieval, like lords, when they would go on hunts and stuff, you think those dogs, you think those hounds had collars? Because like some collars are functional, right? You know, the collars with like studs on them, with like the spiky studs. So I think originally those spiky studs were designed to like keep them from, to give them an edge if they were to like get in a fight with like a wolf or a bear or something. Because the animal, the wild animal through instinct is going to instinctually go for the kill by chomping on the neck, right? But if the dog is wearing a spike collar, the animal goes to chomp him on the neck, and then they get all kinds of messed up because of their spike collar. So like that's got to be like the first types of collars that existed, right? Just like for the purely functional, reason. But when did we like start giving them collars to tell everybody that this was our dog? Like this wasn't a wild dog. This is a dog that like somebody owns. Don't you see the collar? Somebody owns this dog. If I had to guess, I'd probably say it was sometime in the Victorian era. I'm trying to think about the art history class I took where we looked at like some old art and stuff. And I'm trying to think of like ones that had dogs in them. And if the dogs had collars. Yeah, I think Victorian era might be a good guess for when collars became like really practical, not practical, like really in fashion, I guess. I mean, I could look it up, but this video is getting long enough. I'm almost done. I could have been done in like 10 minutes earlier, maybe 30 minutes earlier. If I just use the stinking paint bucket. But I am the word where you don't give in easily. Stubborn. That's the word. That's the word I was going for. I forgot to turn off the fans! Oh, man. So here's a... I'm going to apologize right now for that. So I don't know if you can hear them, but I do have fans on. I have to turn them off when I record usually because they're quite loud. You may not hear them just when I'm not talking and stuff, but when I do talk, the noise filter might pick them up. So I'm sorry about that. But if I would imagine, I would believe that you're no longer watching this video anyways. Because who's got the time, right? To watch like some idiot talk and draw at the same time. Like, there are some channels that are successful at it, like, you know, like, I don't know, Drawfee or Jazza. But their videos are also probably a lot shorter than this one's going to be. They go for the sweet spot, right? Like the 10 minutes. Isn't that like the sweet spot for videos nowadays? 10 minutes long. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll worry about the 10-minute mark. But not today. Today, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just doing my own thing. He does have a spot, and I'm just going to add that right there. There we go. Nice spot. Nice little spot. Okay, and then the fly. I don't have a palette for him because he's a one-off character, so I'm just gonna. So yeah, this is gonna be gross, but like, why does it seem like certain flies go for certain things? So like, there's obviously the house fly, which is like the black fly. And they're hairy and they're black and they buzz around and like they're houseflies, whatever. You know what a housefly is. But why? This is the gross part. Why, when like there's a pile of poop, like dog poo or something like that, why are the flies that go to like that, they're like shiny, right? They're like green. They have like a green sheen to them. You know? What's up? Like, it's obviously a different species, but are they known as like poop eating flies? Like, do houseflies have to like eat poop, right? They eat anything, don't they? Let me know in the comments what houseflies eat. My bet is anything. But I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. I'm sure like 80% of the things I say are probably wrong on some level. If not wrong like factually, then wrong like ethically, you know? Like, that's wrong. Like, you stole that person's, you stole that handicapped man's cane, like, that's wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not endorsing that. Don't steal canes. But yeah, I think we're going along great. This episode was a little bit longer. But we did get the inking and main colors done. So in the next episode, I'm probably going to do the light and like the shadows and the highlights and stuff on the video, on the picture. And I also need to do the background and also the words, but like I said, I don't think I'm going to do the words. I'll show you how I do them, but I'm not going to do like what the actual page is going to have on it. Just to have some like semblance of like privacy for the author. But in the meantime, hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Also subscribe if you like, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Until then, I'll see you later.